Let's see. I feel like I'm missing everything. Is my microphone working? Yeah, it is. Okay, let's see. Let's turn all of our widgets and stuff on. That should be mostly up to snuff. With the exception of... This one's not working? Alright, we can add this one too. Let's do it. Then... This little Windows thing. I have Discord somewhere. I don't know how to get to Discord from there. Well, whatever. It's cool. Hi, Jorge. Good to see you. How are you tonight? Happy New Year. All right. So, I think I've got everything up and running. I think you guys can probably hear me fine. If you can't, just let me know. But I figured I'd try something new this time with Sorin the Mirthless. And instead of just taking, like, the best of all of my recordings of Sorin, I figured that I would just showcase Sorin live. I've tested Sorin a whole bunch, so I've already got my general opinion down, and at the end of the stream I can try and I'll put Sorin on the tier list. So yeah. So if you're unfamiliar, well, Happy New Year to you all. Hello Roy, hello Inquisitive Mind. So Sorin the Mirthless is currently available in the vault for money, but in like a week or two, Sorin's going to be available to all of you guys for crystals. So it's just a matter of like, is Sorin worth picking up? So Sorin has a passive ability, which the game is not letting me select here. But Sorin's passive is at the end of each of your turns, Sorin is going to make a blood token. And then all of Sorin's abilities are going to be based on the blood tokens. So the first ability, Open Wound, you're going to draw a card, and then you get the choice of losing life equal to the mana cost of the last card in your hand. And if you do, you're going to create a blood token with shields equal to the life you lost. The second ability, the Skin of a Killer, is going to make a whole bunch of vampires. And what's actually kind of cool about the vampires that you make for that one is that instead of creating a vampire and then just reinforcing it, you're actually creating that many separate vampires. So there's a combo that I really want to show you guys that's really cool that you can do with Sorin. With those vampires and another card that just makes crazy amounts of blood tokens. But yeah, that one's really cool. And then finally, the third ability, like Razors Through Flesh, is going to destroy your blood token, and then you gain life equal to that blood token's shields. You deal damage to an opposing creature equal to the shields. You deal that much damage to your opponent's Planeswalker, and then you destroy the blood token. So the weird thing about Sorin is that Sorin's abilities are all really expensive. So the first ability is 13 loyalty, the second ability is 20 loyalty, and the third ability is 25 loyalty. To give you guys some context, this third ability, like Razors Through Flesh, costs you more loyalty than all of Karn's abilities together. You can actually use Karn's first, second, and third ability before you can use Sorin's third ability a single time. Look at this. You got a summative total of 24 loyalty for Karn's 3 abilities, and it's 25 loyalty for Sorin's third ability. So it can be a little bit difficult at times to use some of Sorin's abilities just because of how much loyalty they cost, but it's totally fine. So, all right, let's go ahead, join the event. Let's see which of my decks I actually have ready for tonight to start with here for Sorin. Oh my gosh, when you have a lot of Planeswalkers, the searching for the specific one that you want can be kind of crazy. Okay, yeah, so this is definitely the deck that I wanted to showcase first. So this deck here showcases a card that is really cool in conjunction with Sorin, and I know that it's a masterpiece, but nonetheless, it definitely it's worth checking out, and it's Edgar Markov. So Edgar says that when this creature enters the battlefield, you create 2 blood tokens, but more importantly, whenever any other vampire enters the battlefield, you create a blood token. So when you use Sorin's second ability that makes all those separate vampires, then all of those separate vampires are going to create more blood tokens. So it's basically when you use that ability, it doubles your blood tokens plus 3, because the ability also adds an additional 3 blood tokens. And then if you just rely on spamming that second ability, then you can get that vampire up into 100 power plus pretty easily. I feel like the art for Edgar is like really sort of cool. The Edgar himself is basically the Witcher guy, or Lucius Malfoy, whichever you want to see. And if Lucius Malfoy wasn't a vampire in Harry Potter, then I don't know what was. And then you've got this lady to his left, which is, you know, like they're sort of like this beautiful lady. And then you've got this fellow behind him, and the collar, I don't know. Whatever. I'm not here to critique magic art, but the idea here is you want to be running a lot of gem conversion with Sorin. And so I'm going to go through different versions of Sorin, where this one I'm running black gem conversion, and I'm able to run that in part because I'm running Vorpal Sword, because loyalty is pretty difficult to get for Sorin, just because his abilities are also expensive. And so we'll just see sort of how we do with Sorin. I'm going to switch around, and then after I've shown off the different things that I wanted to show you guys, if you guys want to see any interactions with Sorin, you can go ahead and request those. So part of why I think it's fun to try and stream this instead of just making a video is that then you guys can actually make requests for what you want to see with the new Planeswalker. And I'm going to do the same thing with Kaya as well. So this is really not the best starting hand I've ever had. However, I've got 5 and 4, so I'm actually going to go ahead and put Zoth's Consumption first. You might be wondering why I'm doing that, but I've just guaranteed got Zoth down for the black land, and then I wound up getting the Cascade anyways for the Mox, so that's pretty nifty as my phone starts lagging, which is really nifty. That noise that you hear is my kids. They're playing with dinosaurs downstairs, and so they've really taken to the whole like shrieking thing. They think that's pretty great. I'm less a fan of the shrieking, but my kids think the shrieking is pretty great, so it happens. So you'll see that every turn I'm passively getting another shield on the blood support. So that's this one right here. Unfortunately for me, the blood support here is on a black gem. We definitely don't want blood tokens on black gems in general, but it's also not the end of the world. So here I could just go ahead and, you know what? Let's just play the jet. No. I'm going to save the jet. I'll let it get full mana, but I'm actually going to save the jet just in case my opponent destroys it. So there's definitely some destruction that my opponent could be running in those colors. All right, so we're going to try the bridge. Yeah, we're going to play the bridge for sure here. Let's see, is there a way of doing this though? And yes, there is. Okay, we've got the 5 match, which is actually kind of pointless here, but I'm doing it anyways just because I'd rather get the loyalty. And then, oh, that's, you know what? Yeah, I want loyalty. So I'm getting the bridge anyways here, which is good. So dinosaurs are cool. Dinosaurs are really, really cool. Any of you guys that are here, if you want, you can say what your favorite dinosaur is, but I think that mine is probably the Carcharodontosaurus. But you know, it's a kind of a niche dinosaur. Okay, so here, this is perfect. So we've got Edgar, right? We got Edgar right there, and I've got another Edgar right here in my hand. So I'm actually going to hold on to that one, and I need 5 more loyalty. So here I'm actually going to be pressing for loyalty over mana because I don't need mana at this point. And then Edgar hitting my opponent is actually going to give me loyalty as well. So as long as my gem converter gives me a black match here, I should be able to, well, this is unfriendly. I should be able to use my second ability. So we'll see if that works out. No. But we do get Nisika down, so that's actually kind of okay. All right, so we're still 1 away from being able to use our third. Oh, let's see. Is it worth it to use my first to boost up this blood token? This blood token only has 4 shields, which is really not that good. But spending 13 loyalty on it is pretty brutal. Well, we'll see. Yuck. We get a Mox out of it. That's very unfortunate. That's very, very unfortunate. But it happens. It's part of the risk of doing something like that. All right, so this one is my Vorpal Sword. I do not want to break my Vorpal Sword. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll get another black converter down. Unfortunately, Edgar attacking is not getting the Vorpal Sword this turn, but that's okay because Asika is going to start blocking my opponent's stuff and killing it. So we'll start to get rid of some of my opponent's things. So here we're going to get some more loyalty, which is good. We're actually getting quite a bit of loyalty, which is excellent. And then here, okay, I can try and get another Vorpal Sword down, and I like that. However, loyalty is the name of the game here, and I don't have a way of triggering the mocks. So, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and poof. Yikes. Okay, cool. That breaks one of my opponent's supports, I think, but that gives me another Vorpal Sword, which is good. And so we're just building up our blood right now, and then we're also converting gems, which is really nice because of the bridge, and that's actually giving us a little bit more loyalty as well. So now the next time I have my second ability, I'll definitely be using it to get my vamps. So and then boosting up my blood tokens as well. There we go. Now we get her. I was wondering when she was going to come. All right, and we do not have enough conversion to be able to use our second. All right, but I should be able to get my second next turn. Pretty much for sure. So you know what? Let's do this just to make sure we get the second ability. So this is going to give us Hagra Mauling if we need it, and then you know I'm gonna let her go because this is gonna make more blood for me. So blood is good. We want more blood, and then we'll get one more blood as well. At the end of the turn, boosting us to 16. Now it goes down to 15, but then it should boost back up to 16 because of Edgar. That's another like low-key really nice thing about Edgar, is that because it has it so that whenever your blood token loses a shield, you get a vampire. You just keep getting like a whole bunch of extra free shields on it, which is really, really nice. So we're going to do this because it's just another free vampire, and why not? Even though we are indeed going to be getting rid of her in just a moment. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my second ability here. So here you'll see how I get all the blood tokens, right? So vampire token, vampire token, vampire token. The animation doesn't take too long, which is pretty nice. There are a lot of animations that really, I feel like, take a really long time in the game, but this one is not one of them. This is not an infinite combo because the game determines how many of the vampires to make the first time you use the ability. But you do wind up getting the blood token up pretty high. I will say that I'm kind of bummed that Sorin is a mono black planeswalker, just because we have some really, really, really cool things for blood that are in red, but are not in black. So unfortunately, I feel like we can't quite make the most out of having all of these blood tokens by playing red. We'd have to have, or sorry, by playing black. We'd have to have it in red as well. But nonetheless, this was a match where it just took forever to get up my loyalty to get the vamps. So I'll try this deck one more time before I go to a deck that has just like rares on down. So a deck that's not running the mythics and the masterpieces. So it'll just be commons, uncommons, and rares for the next version. But I thought it would be fun to just sort of showcase Sorin with commons, uncommons, rares, and then also the more optimal build that runs Edgar. Edgar is definitely the best way of playing Sorin. But as you can see from that match, I feel like that match really shows off Sorin pretty well, in that the loyalty cost for Sorin's abilities are going to be really, really high. So it can definitely make it a bit difficult at times to use Sorin, just because the loyalty is so high. I feel like if they had even like halved the loyalty for all of Sorin's abilities, almost halved it, not quite, but almost, then Sorin would have just been so much better off for it, because he's very much a planeswalker that wants to spam abilities. You really want to use all of your abilities as much as possible, but even though you really want to use all the abilities as much as possible, you can't use them. So I actually really like the design of the walker and the abilities and how they all work together. I think that bit is all really, really cool. But I think it's unfortunate that you can't just use all the abilities as much as I'm sure you would want to use all the abilities, because you just aren't going to have the loyalty for that. So, all right. So here, what I'm doing is I'm just trying to get my blood token up a little bit. And then this match, I'm actually going to try to only use the second ability. So I'm not going to use the third ability or the first ability to build up the bloods this time. I'm just going to be using the second ability. and hopefully we can get enough loyalty to make it so that happens. So, ooh, infinite obliteration. So since Sarah's almost at a full mana for a card in her hand, I might actually just go ahead and use infinite obliteration here. That might be the play. Yeah, let's do that. I know I'm working my way up to loyalty, but this gets rid of some of her stuff, and I very much like the idea of Sarah not having things. So that's good. That's much good. Out of curiosity, of any of you guys that are here right now, did any of you pick up Sorin? And if so, what are some of your thoughts on Sorin? Are there any decks that you've played with using Sorin that you thought are particularly cool? Or do you have any combos that maybe I might have missed out on that I should try? But I mean, you know, Nathan, there's a thing. Like, I wonder, I almost sent them a message because they sent me all the walkers really early on in the set, and they asked me, like, I hope you like them. Like, what do you think of them? Let us know. And so I was really tempted to send them a message and be like, hey guys, so I really like the design of Sorin. Like, I actually love the design of Sorin, for that matter, with his abilities. Between the first, the second, the third, I think that they're all really thematic, and they play really nicely together. But in maybe 50 matches with Sorin, I've had 2 matches where I've been able to truly take advantage of his abilities, because they just cost so much loyalty. Like, they aren't abilities that I feel like need to cost as much loyalty as they do, if that makes any sense, because they're all very, very expensive. They're all very, very expensive loyalty wise. But one of the things that's really nice is that you really only need the second ability to kill someone. But then the downside is that you really just about never have the need for the third ability. Like, I only have ever used the third ability because I was recording for the video for this, and then I was like, you know what? I'd rather live stream this anyways. That would be more fun. But then I was still like, well, okay. That was the only reason I ever used the third ability. And it's a really cool ability. Like, it's one that I'd love to be able to get more play out of. It's just, there isn't a really good reason to use that ability because, I mean, you're going to get so much more out of the second. Like, let's say that I'm able to get to my second again, and I really doubt it. I really, really doubt it here with my conversion. But even if I was, I mean, the thing would come in with an additional 25 vampires, which is an additional 50 power, and that's going to be way better than anything that I would be getting otherwise. So that's definitely what I would do here. But nonetheless, you'll see that Sarah's going to die here, and really that's all she wrote for that. So yeah, so that's Sorin with Edgar. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get to the second ability back to back. I could do that if I was playing strictly loyalty converters instead of black converters, but like I think that this is pretty true to Sorin. I think this is pretty typical for what you'd get in a match. Like, I spent, gosh, I want to say that I spent like 4 hours maybe playing with Sorin, trying to get optimal footage of Sorin, and then I finally just decided, like, yeah, I mean, I was able to play for that long to get optimal footage, but I had to play that long to get optimal footage. So, you know, but here, so for this one, what I want to do is I want to convert loyalty. Because I feel like that's definitely going to be the way to go for most of you, especially if you really want to make the most out of Sorin's abilities. The new Voldarin estate is actually kind of cool in that it's going to convert loyalty, which you definitely want to be doing with Sorin. And then on top of that, the mana field is going to create blood tokens. So this is definitely going to be something that you'd want to use. The Biblioplex is kind of the best loyalty converter in Standard right now because it converts 3 for only 8 mana, which is great. Access Tunnel is, I think, the next best one because all the other ones are going to convert 2, but this only costs 6 mana, so it's going to be really easy to play. And then finally, we're going to use Crawling Barrens, just because it's gonna buff up our creatures potentially. So I'm good with that. Here, let's go ahead and let's see if we have any cool vampires to use. I'd use something blood related, but there really isn't a whole lot to use blood related. So you know what? Here, we're gonna use Edgar. Edgar's pretty cool. I actually haven't used Edgar yet. I was gonna do something else, but I do think that Edgar is a pretty fun card to use, so I'm definitely gonna go ahead and use it. The one that I did really like was the Blood Tithe Harvester. I actually really liked this one in conjunction with Olivia, because you're going to get so much blood down on the battlefields, and there's really not very much that utilizes blood, apart from Sorin's abilities in black. So this one makes it so that when it dies, it just sort of auto-kills one of your opponent's cards, which is really, really good. So I do really like the Blood Tithe Harvester in conjunction with Sorin's passive. It's pretty cool. And then finally for our last one, you can really go with a lot of different things. You can run the Bloodsworn Squire. I tried this one out, but I just didn't feel like it did enough damage to merit it being like all that good. So I definitely would not recommend that one. So instead, what I'll do here is I'm actually going to go ahead and where were you? I'm gonna use the Laughter Specialist again, just because removal is really important when you're not playing with all of the big nasty cards, right? We're going to use the Saga that destroys things and gets us lands, because we're going to struggle with mana in this deck. Unfortunately, we don't have that much stuff that is going to keep up with some of the super nasty stuff when we're not running all of the crazy cards. I'm going to run Fracture. No. I think that you should almost all be running Fracture if you can in a deck if you don't have other support removal, because this is going to be able to get rid of some of the nastiest cards in Standard, be it Teferi or Prismatic Bridge, which are actually two of the scariest cards. So Fracture is going to get rid of both of those, which is really good. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and use a common removal card here, Grim Bounty, because it's common. So there are other things that you can run, but we can definitely get away with that. So the idea here for this deck is to get as much loyalty as possible to be able to use Sorin's abilities. So we'll see how that goes. We'll have to see what my opponent is playing. I don't have anything that's really strong as like a sort of kill option in the deck, so we're going to have to rely on Sorin's abilities to be our kill in the deck. So, all right, actually getting the Laughter Specialist there is pretty perfect. And then this is a huge first match as well, so we'll actually get matches in all of our colors, and we'll get the Voldaren Estate down, which is really nice. I'm unfortunately going to be destroying my blood out the gate here, but that's really not the worst thing in the world. And then I'm going to go for loyalty here, I think, because I could go for a mana or try to take away from a Johnny, but I'd rather have loyalty. Yeah, let's take loyalty. Loyalty's the way to go, especially with Sorin. And so hopefully we draw something good. Oh boy, not what I wanted to see. Hixus. Okay, I'm going to be destroying my blood again here. I don't actively want to be destroying my blood. But that's okay. Let's see. No, I don't need to use that ability. And then, do we have a good way? It just becomes the question of destroying Hixus right now, and I don't. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'll let him get frozen down, and I just have to hope that I get a Fracture. But that white match, the blue match into black over there is pretty good. And then my own conversion ruins me. Okay. This is very unlucky for between the conversion and then you know what? Let's see, what's this then? That's the Voldaren Estate. That's fine. So let's go ahead and do this, just because it moves the white gems down a little bit on the board, and so we want to move white gems closer to Hixus. We need to break Hixus. This is actually pretty good. So I can make the black match, and that will move more gems towards Hixus, and it will get me another loyalty converter. So as long as my conversion and their conversion don't doom me, I can destroy Hixus next turn. So I just have to hope that my loyalty doesn't... Yep, it got me. Darn. I have removal for it in the deck. It will appear eventually. Let's see. I can use my second ability, so I'm actually going to, just because... I wonder what I think that the imminent death stops killing the thing when it gets blocked off by my opponent's stuff. So by the disable, I think the disable is going to make it so that it doesn't get destroyed. So you know what? I might just take the loyalty match again. Just keep going for loyalty. If you don't have the good stuff, that's fine. Just keep going for loyalty. So let's see. Yeah. So my imminent death guy now is frozen. But he's not going to lose shields, which is really good. And I can destroy Hixus. Okay, cool. That took forever to get Fracture. But that's okay. The moment that I get Fracture is the turn that, of course, I'm able to destroy the thing naturally, so... Hi there, Alan. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. So today is just showcasing new Sorin. Oh, I should have actually used the ability. Oh, I did use it. Okay. These alternate art cards I still need to get used to. I'm definitely not as familiar with them as I should be. What's this one? This one's not good. Okay, I don't need to worry about it then. I like not having to worry about it. Let's go ahead and just keep making more vampires. Because, yeah, why not? The vampire tokens get really, really strong with Sorin, honestly. They get really, really, really strong. Having haste on them is also a nice feature, just because it means that you just are going to kill your opponent. So, yeah, so if my opponent doesn't kill my vampire stack next turn, then they lose. So, oh, not necessarily, actually. If they play a creature, then they'll be alive. Okay, so my opponent has one more turn after this. Unless our loyalty gives us some of the sweet, sweet goodness. What's this? I mean, that's a terrible thing, but I don't need to worry about it. That's okay. Let's see. Let's take the loyalty match. We'll get rid of that thing. Oh, wait, no, the thing flies, so my opponent's doomed anyways. Yeah, playing a flyer did not help you, man. Oh well, you tried. That's cool. So you'll see that, interestingly, at least in that match, right? And this is, I think, another point to make with Sorin, is that that game ran just as smoothly with me running loyalty conversion as me running colored conversion with the mythics and masterpieces. So if you do wind up picking up Sorin, as long as you run loyalty conversion, right? I'm running a whole bunch of loyalty conversion. Then you're going to be able to get just as much out of Sorin for running all that loyalty conversion as you could get out of Sorin if you just had like all the big bad masterpieces and mythics, like the Moxes and all that kind of stuff. Just because the loyalty conversion is just going to do so much for you. So here I've actually got a whole bunch of loyalty conversion out the gate, so I'm definitely going to go ahead and try and get as much of that down as possible. I can get the Biblioplex down first, which is good. We always want the Biblioplex first. And then I would say that it would be really good to have the... I would say it's really good to have the blood on the blue thing, but it's actually not the best given the gem layout right now. Unfortunately. Very unfortunately. Okay, let's see. We want loyalty here, and I could take green, but... You know what? I'm going to take white. Obnixilis, Orzhov, Edgar. I don't actually think I have the not Obnixilis. I would be using it if I had it, but I don't actually have the Obnixilis Vanguard, unfortunately. Okay, so here I'm going to make what might wind up being a little bit of a questionable choice, but I'm actually going to take this red match for mana because there's so much loyalty on the board that if my opponent doesn't destroy it, that my conversion should give me a bunch of loyalty here. I'm hoping. So, not a bunch, but some. That's okay. We're working our way up to our abilities, and that's fine. And the more turns it takes, it's okay if it takes more turns, just because we want to have our blood stack get larger. So if our blood stack's getting larger, that's totally fine. But right now there are 3 things converting loyalty. So now at this stage, I am actually going to use my first. Okay, this is going to create 10 blood tokens, which is really good. So now I'm going to use my second ability next. So having all of this here is going to be good. So we're going to move the Grim Harvest up. I'm going to move the Slafter Specialist up. Let's see. I'm actually going to keep everything because, yeah, we're good. I'm going to discard a card and draw a card, but that's okay. Draw 4, gain 4. Yeah, I mean, like, anytime that you can draw and gain life, that's going to be good, right? Especially in a card game. Unless your opponent has something that makes it so that when you gain life, you lose that much life, which would obviously be bad, but... Yeah. All right, we're doing really, really steady here. Really, really steady, for that matter. All right, which loyalty converters do I have down? I think I have all of them. The Barons, the Plex, and the Tunnel. So I want Biblioplex now as my other one here. So let's just take white into loyalty. White is actually a really good match for Sorin. And you'll see that the the blood token is at 14 shields. So unless my opponent pings it here, then I can create 17. Am I going to ping it myself? Okay, 16. I'm going to make 16 vampires. So let's go ahead and make them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, I wonder how much loyalty I have. I'm tempted to do something kind of... You guys might be like, what are you doing? But it's actually kind of cool. So let's see. How much loyalty do I have? I have 9. Oh no, I lost my kill spell. I was going to kill my vampire token. Because when it dies, you actually wind up getting... you get blood equal to the thing's power. So I was going to get rid of it so that I could... just get the blood up super, super, super high and then just play another one again. But that's not going to happen here. It's not going to let me. It's going to be like, you know what? No, you don't get this, which is okay. You know, it's fine. I got so much loyalty conversion on the board. I'm going to be able to use the ability again here. And so we've got 13. So this is fine. This is fine. We're going to get 16 more of these. But you'll notice that this is just spelling the end for Kiora mighty darn fast. There's not a whole lot that Kiora can do against this. So having haste on all these little guys definitely helps a lot. All right, that's gold. That's crawling barons. I'm going to be getting more crawling barons here. So that actually getting pinged is really not a problem. And I think that... ooh, it's almost the end for Kiora. 1 HP. Okay. And I've just got my vampire stack. So, but I've got all my loyalty converters. So we'll see. Maybe I can use it again this turn because I'm going to get a whole bunch of loyalty. Come on, one more. One more. Oh, ooh, but we got a 5 match. We got a 5. This is still possible. Oh, there we go. Nice. I can use it again. Even more vampires. So, as you can see, our vampires are now even stronger with the common uncommon builds than they ever were with the Mythic Masterpiece build because of the loyalty conversion. So, you can do some pretty great things with this Planeswalker with loyalty conversion. Look at that, we got a 90/90 just from abilities, which is really nice. And kaboom, that's it. So I'm gonna do one more match with this deck, and then if there's anything that you guys want to see with Sorin, I'll show you guys. I'll play a match or 2 or 3 or whatever it is that you guys want to see with Sorin, and then we'll call it okay. I just wanted to make sure that I got. Oh, and I gotta place Sorin on my tier list. You get to hear where Sorin goes on the tier list too, of course. But yeah. All right, let's do another one of these. Okay, cool. We got black into white here, which is really good. We definitely like black into white. That's kind of optimal. I've got some removal. I've got the castle, so that's good. So we're gonna get black into white, and we get our loyalty converter down. Unfortunately, we're up against Ren, which is terrifying because Ren is just such an incredibly powerful planeswalker. I do not want to destroy my... I very much, actually, for that matter, do not want to destroy my blood token here. So I'm gonna purposefully match away from my blood token. I'll take the 5 match, absolutely. Yes, please. And then... Also, I promise that my children are not werewolves. Just, base promise. They're not. They might seem like it at times, but I think that's pretty typical for kids, right? Let's see. So here, you'll see that here's now the folly of having just that single loyalty converter right now. So, yeah, so my blood token just went bye-bye. So just having that single loyalty converter was pretty bad. Let's see. This one's ward is to drain 6 mana. And is it from a spell? Do I have to drain from a spell? A spell with full mana, they can pay to ward for the spell. Alright. So I'm not going to be able to do anything about that. Actually, I need to get the Slafter Specialist down here. Will I be able to get the Slafter Specialist down is the question, though. Because I think I have to pay here. So I'm going to say no. Alright, so I get another loyalty converter, which is fine. My opponent gets a second Sigarda down. That's actually That's optimal. I don't think this is one of my patrons. This looks remarkably like a deck I posted in my patron chat. No, it's not. Okay. All right. Yeah, so we're good here. We're gonna take. Yeah, we're gonna take this. This is good. All right. V. This is actually pretty terrible. Okay, this is good. This is good. We get 16. We get 16 blood for this. Okay, that's good. What combat tricks the Planeswalker can do? I mean, this particular one doesn't have all too many tricks. There's not that many tricks up this Planeswalker's sleeve. So you'll see there that I actually kept a fully charged spell in my hand and then drained it for the ward. Although then it just wound up getting all of its mana back. And then I chose no, which was foolish. I should have just let it cast because it auto-casts anyways. But yeah, this particular Planeswalker doesn't have a lot of like tricks. It's a very straightforward kit. You'll sometimes need to use your first ability to get more blood, right? So I used my first ability here to get blood. But for the most part, you're really just you're getting your blood on up. And then once you've got your blood up here, so we got our second ability, we're going to go ahead and use the second ability. You might be asking, what about your third ability? It's best to pretend that your third ability doesn't exist most of the time, because your second ability just does so much more than the third ability will. So here you'll see that I'm getting all my vampires down, and this puts a lot of pressure on my opponent to get rid of the vampire stack. But the downside for the opponent here with Sorin's vampire stack is if the opponent kills this thing, then you'll see that when it dies, you're going to create blood tokens equal to its level. So if this thing dies, I get to create 21 blood tokens because it's level 21. And so in creating those 21 blood tokens, that means that my next one's going to come out twice as strong. And since I'm playing with a bunch of loyalty conversion, there just, unfortunately for the opponent, really isn't a good way to get rid of the vampire stack once it gets down. So that's really one of the strengths of this Sorin, is that once you get the ball rolling and you've got your loyalty converters, you put a tremendous amount of pressure on the opponent with the token, because the only real way to get rid of it is with exile. So beyond exile, your opponent is pretty doomed. So here you'll see, I'm actually just going to go ahead. I'm going to use the ability again, and that's definitely going to be game over. Because this gets us a really powerful vampire token. So this is Sorin gone right? Sorin's going to go right when you're able to pair Sorin with conversion, specifically with loyalty conversion. You can do some really cool stuff without loyalty conversion, but like I think this showcases why I think loyalty conversion is going to do a lot more for Sorin than not. But I was hoping that Edgar I could get. I was hoping with Edgar that I'd get some of the fun stuff going, but yeah. So that's Sorin the Mirthless. Sorin has curse splatterified my opponent. That's the end of them, like totally the end of them. So if you've seen my tier list video for monocolor planeswalkers, and you're wondering where does Sorin fit on my monocolored planeswalker tier list, I'll actually go ahead and pull that up over here. We'll move Chrome on over, and we'll go to my monocolored tier list real fast so you guys can see it. All right. Shoo. Right. So, this is my tier maker, right? This is my tier list for monocolored planeswalkers. And so if you're wondering where does Sorin go, this particular Sorin is gonna fall somewhere between C and D. If they change Sorin to make his loyalty abilities cost less loyalty, then I think that Sorin would have the power to be between A and B, just because his kit is able to do everything that it needs to win. I think C is probably the more likely spot, because that second ability is really, really strong. And the first ability is able to enable it really well. It's just the downfall for that is that you have to spend 33 loyalty to be able to use both the first and the second ability. And I feel like the planeswalkers up here you're just going to get so much more for 33 loyalty than you are going to get out of Sorin. So those are just my quick thoughts on that. My little guy just took his samurai sword. You a samurai, Ethan? Mm-hmm. You want to say hi to everyone? You want to tell them that you're a samurai? So, anyways, that's where that is on that tier list. So, you can come and say hi. So, if you guys want to see, by the way, this little munchkin right here is the samurai. There we go. They're right in there. You want to say hi? You just want to show them the sword?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a sword.
Yes, you do have a sword, kiddo. All right. Here you are, love. You can come on down. Thank you. How often do they fix Planeswalkers? Very rarely. In all the time that I have been playing the game, they've done it once, to the best of my knowledge. And it's not a fix, it's just like a change. Typically, when they change a Planeswalker, it happens before the Planeswalker comes out. So there are a few Planeswalkers that I played with that I was able to give some feedback to the studio before it came out. And then they wound up changing the Planeswalker before it came out. So one of the examples was one of the Chandras. They lessened the loyalty ability costs. But with this one, I just got to Sorin a little bit too late to be able to give them feedback. And then they were out for the holidays. And so it just didn't work out. For me to be able to provide the feedback before Sorin came out to lessen the loyalty cost for Sorin. So that's where I've got Sorin right now. But with that, are there any card combinations that you all wanted to see with Sorin that you were curious about in the event that you were considering picking Sorin up yourself? Like I know that Phylath is in right now. Anything else worth a note? If you don't have Phylath, by the way, Phylath is apparently in Fiblethip's vault, and this card is exceptional. It is one of the most powerful cards in Standard. So just real fast, if you don't have Phylath, wait, you got to scroll. Oh, by the way, you see how there's nothing in my vault? You scroll all the way to the bottom, and then you scroll all the way back to the top, and Fiblethip's vault will reappear. So scroll all the way to the bottom, scroll all the way to the top, and the Fiblethip vault will reappear. So let's see. Where are you, Phylath? There you are. But now it's showing more things. Is there anything worth it? No, just Phylath. So if you're watching this right now and you don't have Phylath, you have enough for Phylath. Phylath is definitely a worthwhile pickup right here. This guy. Very deadly. Oh, hey, Goss. You're posting yours on Sorin right now? I placed Sorin in my C tier, maybe D. Where do you have him, Goss? What are your thoughts on him? Do I think they'll boost the mana gains of Origins Walkers? I think it's possible. I know that there's been a lot of requests for that. As to whether or not they will, I don't know. I honestly think that they should just retouch all of the Origins Walkers. I think they all need a little bit of love. Oh, and then here's the other last thing about Sorin that I wanted to showcase, right? This is the part that sort of like that gets me about Sorin. Is if you look at Blood, right? The cards that get the most out of Blood or do the most for Blood are Olivia's Attendants. So this one makes it so that when it deals damage to any target, you create X Blood tokens. So this thing can create a ton of Blood tokens, like a whole ton of them. And then the best use of Blood tokens is the Crimson Honor Guard, because this dude makes it so that at the end of your turn, you're going to wind up hitting your opponent for the power equal to the Blood token's shields. So this thing in conjunction with Olivia's Attendants is really nice. And if this card was black, and we could use this thing with Sorin, then that'd be really good. Yeah, you see, like the thing for me with Sorin is just that, like, his loyalty abilities just cost too much. That's just what it comes down to. So right, so we got to see Sorin, and so now here I want to show you guys a build. I want to show you guys a build with Blood tokens that will show you like what I think Blood tokens should be like. All right, so. Let's see. I think it's a Dome rebuild. Did I throw it away? I might have thrown it away. But this should show you what Blood should look like. Okay, yeah. So here we go. We'll use Dome and we're gonna type in Blood, and we're gonna throw in Olivia's Attendants and the Honor Guard. And then we're going to give them double strike because that's actually pretty necessary. We're going to use the Prismatic Bridge because that card is a must. We're going to use Turn Timber because we want to be able to get into our Vamps all the quicker. For our lands... Yeah, so the thing is right, like, if Sorin's abilities were just, like, cheaper, right? If the first ability that costs 13 was 6, then Sorin would be, like, that would help Sorin immensely. And the summon the vampire tokens, instead of 20, if it was 15, then that would be playable. And the third ability, I think, should be 18 at the most. Like, it is not, there's no reason for that third ability to cost as much as it does. So, you don't have Domri? Yes, 100% you should have Domri if you don't have Domri. For you specifically, Gauze. So here's the thing, right? Anytime we get a cast objective, it's just Domri's second ability, fetching 2 creatures and giving them 8 mana. I use Domri, this is me, right? I use Domri more than I use Brokon for standard, without a doubt. So I know that some of that is going to be based on like your playstyle and what you do, but yeah, I would definitely suggest Domri. All right, so I'm going to run this deck right here, and I'm going to go over the idea of it, right? So the thing here is right, when we were just playing with Sorin, we were able to play Sorin based on Sorin's second ability, right? So that's where we really got to see the blood. But now here, you're going to get to see what happens when you use a card that is able to make blood like crazy, and then another card that is going to take advantage of the blood. Now granted, you do need these 2 cards, and this is a rare, and this is a masterpiece. So I'm not saying that this is easy to get your paws on. But you'll see that this definitely is going to work out for us better than... not Domri. Come on, Michael. You even got sleep last night. Sorin was able to. So this is a terrible starting hand. This is this is an absolutely terrible starting hand. There's no excuse for this hand. How dare you guys? Yikes. This is suboptimal. Okay. This is a little bit scary. So we're going to go ahead and... Yeah, let's give mana to my whole hand. We're going to do that. And we're going to get a gem converter down. Yeah, Domri is definitely A, without a doubt. There were a lot of people that sent me messages after I came out with my tier list and were like, you done Domri wrong. Domri should be S tier for the usefulness in events. And I'm leaning more that way right now. It's just because even since that video... I play with Domri. I play with Domri quite a lot, just for the second ability. Honestly, just for the second ability. Look at this. So we're gonna pop our second here. We had like just a boot nothing. Unfortunately, right? We're gonna go ahead and do this. We're gonna freeze that one down. Ooh, I do need the Gambit to get bigger. Otherwise, it's gonna reinforce the slug, right? It's not until end of turn. Yes, it's gonna reinforce the slug. I do not want to reinforce the slug. So let's put Alchemist Gambit up. I think this works. Right? So we're gonna use the Veil. You got both Ashioks, you're not impressed. Ashiok, you gotta use Ashiok 1 first. Ashiok 1 is the one to be impressed with. That one is absolutely terrifying. Especially for Pauper. If you wanted to PvP me in Pauper sometime, guys, I could show you the true power. Am I Canadian? No, I just have a problem. That's it. I just have a problem. Yeah. This is gonna kill Toxrill. But this is good because that gets rid of my opponent's legendary creature. So, alright, there. That right there is, I think, actually a perfect thing to identify really fast. You guys see? So, Ashiok just Hagra Maulinged my Crimson Honor Guard. And you'll see that I have a Crimson Honor Guard in my hand disabled with full mana. So this is sort of like a higher level play. I knew that Crimson Honor Guard wasn't going to be attacking last time, and I knew that my opponent could potentially kill it, especially with black. So right there, what I wound up doing was I saved my Honor Guard in the event that my opponent might indeed have a kill spell ready to go. just to keep myself safe, and that's absolutely what happened. So here we're gonna. Oh God, no! Don't take my 5 match of red, please. Thank you. But all right, so here things are looking good. Unfortunately, though, here. Oh, this is perfect. Oh no, not quite perfect. Wait, yes, perfect. That's a 5 match. Urgh. So we're going to create 2 blood tokens because Olivia's attendants say whenever they deal damage, you create a blood token. And just like Sir Sarah, this is going to create blood tokens. So we're going to create our blood tokens. We're going to go ahead and use our second to get, ideally, more... Rip. Nope. I was hoping for more Olivia's attendants, but instead we got more honor guards, which was not what we wanted. So I'm going to leave one of the honor guards in my hand, just waiting for his chance to shine. That other honor guard wants to be a dancing queen, but no. Yeah, if you don't have haste, you gotta hold on to the reinforcements. Absolutely. You 100% have to do that. Alright, so here you'll see that we're at 10, and now we just get to ping Ashiok for 10 damage per turn. And then next turn we're gonna get to ping for even more, but no, because Ashiok kills it. Ah, you jerk! Ashiok! Why you do this? And you're making me discard! Oh boy. This is going to get nasty real fast. Yikesers. Well, not super fast because I'm running Ashiok. Yeah, we have totally different playstyles, which is good though, because, like, if it was just my playstyle, then everyone would just take my playstyle as fact, which is a problem because my playstyle, like, it obviously works for me, but it's not necessarily going to work out that way for everyone. So it's important to have, like, just different approaches, different opinions on things. So here I'm just trying to get more loyalty conversion, which is good. I just get to keep pinging Ashiok, so even just having this 2/2 is absolutely deadly. Unfortunately, though, and this is what's going to suck, I'm going to get 2 Olivia's attendants for my second ability here. And I say that this sucks because... I want 1 of each, but I should be getting 2 Olivia's attendants. Yeah, that should have been all that was left in my deck there. Let's see, I don't want to use the Alchemist's Gambit this turn. So... I do not like my options. I could use the Alchemist's Gambit here, just to make it so that I could get the Olivia's attendants down. That might be the play. You know what, I'm going to do that. We're going to freeze these down for just a second here. I'm going to do this. This is just for the extra swap, so I definitely get the attendance down. And then here, what is this? That's my blood. I don't want to lose my blood. But that's okay. I want the loyalty so I can use my second ability again, because that will get me the Crimson Honor Guard on this turn, which is good. And then I should be able to play the Crimson Honor Guard as well, unless my matches just decide to do terrible things for me. Which they don't. So I get to spam my second again. And wow, I got more attendance? Are you for reals right now? Okay. Well, I don't appreciate that game, but, you're going to do what you're going to do. Nonetheless, I'm going to get a whole bunch of attendance down. Unfortunately, I don't get to actually ping my opponent more, so I went up against a deck that just had such heavy removal that I didn't really get to do too much with these. So... But nonetheless, there we go. We're getting our support up way, way higher. All right, let's see. What does Ashiok do here? Hey, buddy, are you gonna kill my girls? No, you're not. That's your bad. That's a definite mistake. You should have killed my girls. They needed to go because now they kill you. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, whatever is your... I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, yes, it's a game, but for fun for you, it might not be that it's, like, a traditional fun. It might be that it's, like, the most effective thing, right? Just because some people don't have fun unless they're winning. Hello? Did I misinterpret that? I did. All right, we're gonna try one more match, but you guys at the very least can see how crazy Domri is for fetching. Like, I got all the creatures, which was good. It makes it so that if you're playing any deck where you have, like, a creature combo, you can get that creature combo really, really easily. Really, really easily. I would also like to not lose my blood as well. Losing the blood is not good. It makes you lightheaded and tired. Ooh, a 5 match. All right. This is good. This is good. And we have the attendance. And this, yes, we like this. This is a very good start to the game. This is a very good start to the game. And we're up against Tyvar Kell, which I'm not even remotely worried about. So that makes it even better. I'm going to take the green match away from him so that I can get the girls down. Okay. So now that we've got them down, I want to get the Veil next, maybe? No, let's get this thing and then this thing. Because the Saga is going to ultimately get me the Veil. Or Valakut, I suppose. I think I have Valakut in the deck. But that's fine. It doesn't matter. I'm guessing my opponent's going to play a creature. That's fine. That's actually pretty perfect. I'm going to get the Crimson Honor Guard here, which is good. Actually, this is not good, coming to think of it, because that thing just fetched another copy of itself. That thing is legendary. And so if that thing's legendary and just fetched another copy of itself, that means I'm going to have a harder time making the dream work here for the deck. So we'll see. We're gonna get a whole bunch more blood tokens, which is good. We like the blood. Yikes, my opponent's getting big matches. Yes. That is absolutely correct. Let's see, I could play the Crimson Honor Guard, but well, I'm not gonna play it this turn. But okay, so next turn my Crimson Honor Guard is going to get Berserker and Death Touch, which is good. Because that's going to get rid of my opponent's legendary creature. Although I think that my opponent got another one of them, which is annoying. But nonetheless, I get to ping my opponent for a ton of damage this turn, which is good. So let's do that. Let's go ahead. We're going to do this. We're gonna make even more of those. We get even more of these blood tokens, and now we get to burn Tyvar for 22. Because my opponent doesn't have a legendary creature down. Unfortunately, my opponent will have one down again here. Ooh, and it's Drizzed. This is terrifying. This is supremely terrifying. Oh, this is such bad news bears. Okay. This card right here, Herald, is like the singular counter to this deck that I'm playing. Which makes this very scary. All 3 of those are legendary. I have to get rid of Drizzed if I can. The Gambit might be what I have to focus on here. Let's see, I've got 4, 7, 10. Alright, I'll get 10, right? That's going to be 10 mana. Okay. This is going to be 10 mana. So I say I get to do damage to something. What should I do the damage to? Probably not to Drizzed. I could kill the elf, but that's just gonna buff Drizzed up. So let's just do it to Tyvar here. I think that's the play. It's just doing it to the elf. Doesn't actually do anything for me. So we're gonna play Alchemist's Gambit. It's gonna give them all double strike, which is good. I'm gonna use my second ability here to get more critters, although that doesn't actually help me here, unfortunately. What is my land that I got? I did get Valakut. Okay, so I'm going to throw away this Valakut over here. This is a good old-fashioned pickle. Let's see. I can get a bridge down, which might be good. Although the cat... So the cat is going to attack my attendants here. The cat is going to attack my attendants. And it's going to kill them. So even if I play these ones, these will be at 8 toughness. And the 9 damage will kill them. I'd have to play 2 sets of attendants. So my best play here has got to be to get the bridge down, I think. This is going to make 12 more blood tokens. So that's going to be a lot. So if I can ever get a board void of... If I can ever get a board that doesn't have... a legendary creature on it, then I can win. But the problem is going to be to get a board that doesn't have a legendary creature on it. Yikes. I don't see how I win this one, honestly. Because even if I get a Shatter Skull smashing here, I think I still lose. Well, there's the Shatter Skull. But I don't think it's going to be able to do enough. Because it's going to do 6 damage to each thing. So it's going to kill Guinevere. And it's going to kill the elf. If I get it off at max power. But that's still not going to be enough. Let's see. I think I lose this match. All right. Well, I'm gonna do my best. So we're gonna let that thing go. We get a Rockfall Veil. That's fine. The Shatter Skull, I need to be at full. Oh goodness, that just populated a whole bunch. Okay, yeah, this is definitely game over. I am not running the Great Aurora in this deck, so this is 100% game over. Yeah, there's a 0% chance that I can come back from this now. Yeah, this is dead. Well, my opponent could play. You know what? Let's see. My opponent could wind up playing a Great Aurora. Crazier things have happened. Nope. That's game over. Oh, man. If you're ever wondering, Michael, why do you run the Great Aurora in all of your decks for all events that are not the training grounds? No! I can't purchase more potions. That's why. I run the Great Aurora in every single deck that I run in events if I can. But, nope. This will be tricky. Domri is at 0 health, and I have 0 potions left, which means I can't show this deck off using Domri. And Domri is by far the best way of using that deck. So, let's see. What's another Planeswalker that could work for this? I could do with Samut. It's just Samut is a bad Planeswalker to use this for because of the 3... Where are you, Samut? Here we are. We're going to go Blood. Having only 3 supports. Oh, it's 4 supports. I thought she was 3. Okay, well, this is fine. We'll do this one more time. Hopefully we don't run into the exact counter to this, which was that one single uncommon creature. Am I misspelling this? Turn Timber? No, okay, I have it. Cool. Turn Timber and land forming. Where are we? Boop, boop. There we are. And Saga. Yep. And where are you, Saga? Here you are. And we're going to go with Convert Rid again. Having to remake the same deck is definitely unfortunate. Prismatic Bridge. And... oh, what the heck. I don't want to have to deal with that nonsense again. I'll put the Great Aurora in. Oh well. So this time, we're using Samut. The advantage to Samut over Domri is that if you get your attendance down, then you can use Samut's first ability. And Samut's first ability is going to do a lot of good for you because it's going to give them +2/+2 and double strike. So you're going to get the blood tokens down a lot more quickly using Samut than you will with Domri. But Domri will definitely be a lot more consistent. So it's sort of like pros and cons, right? Here I'm just fishing for red matches because in running Samut, none of these other colors are really going to actually do anything for me. So here I'm actually just going to go ahead and use this for the conversion. And I get a bunch of ascendants, which is fine. And I want to make sure that my opponent's Saga doesn't exile next turn. Shuffle graveyards into libraries. Okay, that's profoundly terrible. Sure. I'm going to do absolutely nothing about that. And then this should give me my bridge, right? Yep, there's the bridge. And I've got my first ability, which is great. So unfortunately, I should be getting an Honor Guard here. Yep, that checks all the boxes. And then... sure, we'll go for the attendance, just because we didn't get the green. Yeah, I don't always win when I'm testing out like sort of shenanigansy decks, which is good. Yeah, we're gonna go this route. This route looks good. All right, so next turn we get to play a whole bunch of blood tokens. So let's see, how much blood can I get next turn? Oh darn, I got this guy again. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, we're gonna get a lot. We're gonna get a lot, because she's gonna get. Yeah, we're gonna get so much blood here. This is perfect. Okay. Unfortunately, we're gonna destroy our blood token, but we're gonna remake it anyways, so it's fine. It's no big deal. Because of the mana field for blood tokens, which is kind of a bummer. But here we're now gonna make 18 more. And I've got my first ability again. So next turn, yeah, we're going to kill our opponent next turn, for sure. Unless they kill me, which is possible. But I doubt it. So hopefully I don't kill with combat damage. That's my goal. My goal is to not kill with combat damage. It's possible. Let's see. So let's see, this is currently going to do 28, 30, 40. We're going to do 40. And if I play this one, it'll be another 12, which will be 52, 53, 54. We'll go with a 54. This should be 54 damage. So this should leave Ugin at 2. And then we should see how much we actually can do with our support here. Right? Alright, so we're going to get 40 more blood tokens. And then we get to ping our opponent directly for whatever this is going to be. So 48, 49. Alright, I should stop. How many are there? 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Alright, so now we get to do 65 damage to anything we want. So, we're going to pause for a moment and let the viewers decide. Are we going to do 65 damage to the bear, or are we going to do 65 damage to Ugin? You can just type bear or Ugin in chat, and whatever has the most votes in 30 seconds is what I'll take. So are we going to do 65 to the bear, or are we going to do 65 to Ugin and kill Ugin? The timer is on. What are we going to do? My opponent is going to die next turn pretty much no matter what. But will we do it to the bear or to Ugin? I think there also might be a delay between stream and this, so I have to give it like a little bit longer than 30 seconds. If you're wondering like why I pause afterwards, it's because there's a delay. Can I do it to myself? I can't choose myself. It has to be any opposing target. Alright, so 1 vote Ugin, 1 vote bear. Bear. 2 votes bear, 2 votes Ugin. Three votes Ugin. Alright, Ugin it is. Ba-dunk. And that's the end of Ugin. So once the deck actually gets going, it just steamrolls. The problem is that you actually have to have like that solid removal. But you get the token up really, really high, which is good. Which is really, really good. So, yeah. I'm going to play one more match before I hop off and make myself a yummy snack. And that one more match is going to be something that Al Smartman you'll recognize, because it was what I was for the big brain place. You'll recognize this one just because it was the deck that I was talking about in patron chat yesterday. But it was just a lot of fun, so I might as well just make it here, you know? So we're going to use the populate critters. This and this. For those of you that didn't know, Asika's Chariot is kind of the coolest card in the game to use low-key with Garruk, because you're going to create 2 Cat Beast tokens, and then when your first creature attacks, you populate. So those Beast tokens actually can be turned into the leader from Garruk's second ability, and so you're just going to be populating and populating and populating and populating and then you just wind up giving whatever creature you have like superpowers, which is awesome. So the card that I really wanted to try and make work was Dormant Grove. So Dormant Grove is going to create this Gnarled Grove Strider token every turn, basically, which is a 3/6 with Vigilance. And so I really wanted to make the Coma absolutely deadly and nasty. Or not Coma, but the token itself nasty using Coma, because Coma populates twice per turn. And so between Coma populating and Asika's Chariot populating, I thought that could actually be pretty fun. But little did I know that it would just turn into the Coma show. So we'll see if it turns out that way this time. Coma kind of takes the show whenever I use it, unfortunately. Because it's just such a ridiculously good card. But it's okay. Alright, so we're going to go with landform. You know what? I don't want Reclaim the Wastes. Let's go ahead and use the Saga. Where are you, Saga? Here you are. We're going to go ahead and use the Aurora. That's not a support, Michael. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and convert green. So we're going to need the World Tree, and I'll use a Rixmethus because a Rixmethus converts so many to green. All right, here we go. Green nonsense. So the idea is, so here's the thing, right? The idea with this deck was to try and get as many of those trees out as possible. But the problem is that every time I want to get the trees out, I wind up just doing even worse things with Coma. So here, yeah, this is actually going to prove my point exactly, probably, since I have the Prismatic Bridge in my hand. So we're working our way. We're hoping we get to the tree thing. My opponent plays absolute garbage, which is cool. Ooh, do I want the Chariot first? Yeah, I want the Chariot first. The Chariot for the lulz. And this is going to give me a land next turn anyways. Unless my opponent is a horrible monster and kills my thing. But I doubt it. Okay, cool. And I get another Chariot, which is beautiful. Sure. Alright, so we're going to get the Chariot down. So we get 2 of our kitties. You're going to... Oh, I think I have to make the trap match in order for bad things to happen to my opponent. No, kitties! Kitties! Kitties, why? Why you gotta be like this? My kitties are gonna be attacking my opponent's dude. They have no survival skills. Oh, they populate. Never mind. They have more survival skills than I gave them credit for. Thank you, kitties. I forgot that the Chariot gave them the power toughness boost, in addition to the populate. Never forget what your cards do, Michael. Never forget what your cards do, buddy. You know what? Here we can actually... Yeah, we're going to do this since we can get Coma down. And now our kitties are going to get ridiculous. No, I am not destroying my kitties. And so herein lies the problem. Because now, if I want to use my second ability, the kitties are just too big already. Like, as it stands, okay, so I finally get this thing. Of course I do. Now, get the blasted Grove. So even though I just got the Grove, the kitties, I can just kill my opponent this turn with kitties. Look at this. Here, you know what? We'll do it. Kill the opponent with kitties. 1, 2, 3. Game over. Reading is really difficult, man. Yeah, it's a problem. I should get Educate. Alright, more kitties, and... Didn't even get to use the thing. Because of course not. Ugh. And Coma. See, this is what I mean by the Coma show, right? Look at... Oh, wait. We get the tree folk. We get the tree. We get the tree. Oh, man, we get the tree. And then that happens. Right? Like, damn it. All right. We'll try this one more time. I got a health potion. We're going to make that... It's not a chicken. It's a tree, dang it. We're going to make that tree happen again. I swear we're going to try. All right, we're up against a Nissa Worldwaker that's terrifying. Whatever. I don't care. We're going to make the tree happen. Come on, trees. I'm telling you guys, Coma's just too strong. That's actually the moral of the story. The moral of this story is that Coma is too strong. It has nothing to do with the trees. Alright, we're going to take this and a Rixmethus. Yikes. Mega yikes. That was not how we wanted that to go. That very much was not how we wanted that to go. Whatever. We're going to do this. We have all the cards in our hand that we want. Except for the tree thing. So we need to stall and get the tree thing. Right, the tree thing. We're trying to show the tree thing, man. Make the tree thing happen. Had math equations for their text, would they be more readable? No. Would I remember them better? Questionable. The pause. The pause. The pause is there because it's actually questionable. Alright, so hopefully we get a good conversion out of this. That was an amazing conversion. That was exactly what I wanted out of that conversion. Whatever. We've got enough conversion here to play anything we want because a Rixmethus is stupid in a good way. Alright, we're going to get the Chariot down. Unfortunately, just the Chariot down. We're not going to play the Turn Timber this turn. But we're going to kill my opponent's creature. Alright, so we get the Beast tokens. Because, of course, we get the Beast tokens. See, the thing is that if you get the Beast tokens down first, like, what do you do? Alright, maybe this will give me the tree. Give me the tree. There we go. We got the tree, guys. We got the tree. We're in business. This is the match. I can feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. This is gonna work. This is gonna work. What's this one? Binding the Old Gods. I don't care about... Actually, I want that one to die so that I can use my other one as removal. So, yes, we're gonna kill this thing. Okay. We get our tree. This is it, guys. This is it. Okay, so we get our first tree. And now the tree is what's going to get populated. Okay, the tree gets populated. That's good, because the tree is definitely the biggest, baddest thing in town. The tree is getting populated even more because it's very scary. Clearly, it is the scariest thing on the block. Let's see. I kind of want another Asika's Chariot. But is there any really good reason for me to use my second ability to get an Asika's Chariot? No, there is not, other Barry. No, there is not. Well, no. There is not. Oh, well, that's okay. I don't need another Asika's Chariot. Who needed another Asika's Chariot? Not me. All right, but here's a cool thing, right? Look at this. Now I can have the Dormant Grove make more trees. And the Populate is going to make more trees. And now we hit our opponent. And now we get another Coma, because why not? And then we get more trees. And then my opponent's turn ends. And they play a whole bunch of forest tokens that don't matter, because my trees are going to shtup them like glassy. And then I get more trees. More trees. There we go. More trees. More trees. Oh, man. That's the end of my opponent, right? There's nothing I can do to stop my opponent from dying here. 30, 50, 65. Nope, my opponent is dead. There's a 0% chance they live this. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Hunting Pack to make Coma the biggest, baddest thing on the block. Oh, I should have just given the trees the opportunity to get the kill. What am I even doing? The trees finally had their chance to shine. But look, they got what? 79, 80 toughness? They've got 80 toughness, right? That's impressive. Yeah? 80 toughness. Look at that. Look at those trees. 86 toughness. And there go the trees. And there it is. So yeah, that was really everything that I was hoping to showcase tonight. I should still make some videos on some of these fun things that I've been finding, but it's just so much more fun to stream sometimes. That, you know, if there's a chance to stream, then I definitely want to do it. And Monday nights seems like a really good time to be able to stream for just an hour. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. So if you got to see the early bits, Sorin is probably like C tier for me. Right, new Sorin. As a quick recap, like Sorin's third ability costs more loyalty than all three of Karn's abilities combined. You can use all three of Karn's abilities for one of Sorin's. I swear I'm not compensating for something there, guys, with that big log. But anyways, so Sorin, I mean, it's just all three abilities are really cool abilities, and they all work together really well. And this passive that I'm not allowed to tap on is really cool too. Sorin is an amazingly designed Planeswalker in terms of his abilities and mana gains. The problem is the loyalty. The loyalty is absolutely brutal. So, what can you do? I don't know. Oh well. Anywho, I'm definitely going to go ahead and call it there for the night. I am the Hungries. I shouldn't be, but I am. So, I hope that you guys all had a wonderful holiday. Happy New Year to you all. I hope that you guys were able to get some good time with your family, friends, your loved ones, your cats, dogs, whatever it is that you want to have time with. If you just had like chill time, then that's awesome too. But this is the last day to pick up Sorin for money. Sorin will be available for crystals coming up soon. So Kaya is going to be the next one that I'm streaming. So I'm going to try this again with Kaya. But thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.